voters pass big proposals by big numbers to issue of voting. First and foremost, folks can register to vote up to Election Day. And then, of course, the GOP, they want to change that. They want to move it to 14 days before the election. Okay, but I thought the voters picked. Also, motor voter automatic registration. The GOP wants to pass a bill that will require a citizenship designation on driver's licenses before registration. They also are trying to weaken the new state nonpartisan commission that will cover districts. Okay, so let me explain something. The voters passed a referendum that will create a nonpartisan commission to draw lines. Now the Republicans in this lame duck session want to weaken the very referendum the voters passed. They also, a Democrat won in Michigan. They want to weaken what the Democratic governor can do. Now let's go to Wisconsin. Same thing. Republicans today moved very quickly with a rare lame duck session that would make sweeping changes to the duties of the Democratic elected governor and the Democratically elected attorney general. It would shift the power to the GOP-controlled legislature. Okay, let me help y'all out. So the governor currently has power. They would then say, oh, no, we're going to take the power from you, the governor, and give it to the legislature. So Tony Evers, the incoming Democratic governor, can have the power, and also the incoming Democratic Attorney General, Josh Call, can have the power. They also want to cut early voting. Why? Because they lost in early voting. It gets better. They also want to move an election. Let me help you out. They want to switch an election. Right now, there's a 4-3 majority, Republicans, on the Supreme Court. Well, one person is coming up for election in 2020. They want to separate that person from the ballot because they know there's going to be a large turnout in 2020. Go to our panel. I mean, when you talk about, this is what I keep telling people. You know, guys like Brandon could come on here and yell and scream about Democrats in Maryland all day. But I keep saying, you cannot show me where Democrats pull this kind of nonsense controlling the state legislature.
You can't. I mean, there's no equivalent in either state. You know, what's going on in Michigan is appalling. What's going on in Wisconsin is appalling, especially given the recent history of Wisconsin. You know, where the Democrat members fled the state and they were willing to send the Wisconsin state police after them to pull them back and make them come back and cast votes. And I mean, it's just my issue with a lot of these current GOP state parties and a lot of these elected officials is this. If you give voters a reason to vote for you, they will vote for you. Mm-hmm. If you give voters a reason to make them feel like they have a home with you, they'll give you their vote. Yeah. I mean, the thing is this, you don't have to scam, to cheat, to steal, to win or keep power if you give voters a reason to vote for you. Instead of focusing on, backdoor ways to control from a minority, figure out ways to build a new majority. When it comes to Michigan, Gina Barr, who's now the director of African American engagement, the RNC, is running for Michigan Party chair there. I'd love to see her weigh in on this.
Mm-hmm. That ain't gonna happen.
I need to weigh in on this.
I mean, but Michael, when you see this, first of all, the incoming Attorney General has talked about the whole issue of Medicaid. There's a lawsuit as well, and so his whole deal is, we're going to sue over it. We're going to take the power from you. They literally are going to want to take the power and pretty much have Attorney General and the governor who does nothing, pretty much. I mean, I'm talking about stripping them of significant amounts of their power just because they lost at the ballot box.
And this fight's going to go on for quite some time, which means the governor and the Attorney General will not have power for quite some time because this is going to be wrapped up in the courts for a minute. And clearly it could get up to the Supreme Court. So it'll be interesting to see, because obviously in the future and other situations where people lose and they have sour grapes and they want to take retribution, they're going to see what happens in court to see if they can do this to other parties. And I mean, this is the bottom of the barrel of civility. Crazy.
And it was. I have long said that when you look at the games that they're playing, that it's all based upon what Republicans did in North Carolina.
Absolutely.
They studied North Carolina. They've been doing this crap for the past 6 years.
Absolutely.
And they've been watching what they have done and like, oh, that's a good idea. We're going to weaken that law. Weaken that. I mean, and then in Michigan, to completely act as if the voters did not actually pass the referendum. I mean, they fought to get it on the ballot.
Yeah.
They got the signatures. It gets on the ballot. Then they said, no, we're going to come back and we're going to weaken it. It's the same thing Republicans did, I think it was in Montana, where the voters passed a strict ethics deal, and they came back and literally gutted the very ethics bill that was passed by the voters.
See, this is where you have the intentional destruction of democracy. If elected officials are taking it upon themselves to completely disregard the will of the people who have actually gone through the process. I mean, it's not easy to get something on the ballot and to pass it. Okay, you have to go through petitions. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to do that. And if people have organized to the degree that's necessary to pass a referendum just to have it undermined by basically lame duck people who are in there for a couple of months so that they can sort of redirect the will of the people for their own political game, how is it that anyone would trust in democracy moving forward?
I mean, folks, I'll tell you, so in 2020, in Wisconsin, the presidential primary is going to be in March. They want to move, they literally want to move, not the primary, this one race. So you always hear Republicans talking about being fiscally prudent. They want to have 2 elections in 2 months. Have the Democratic primary in March,
and then April,
and then have this election for this judicial seat in April.
Of course.
You know, the question: where's Paul Ryan on this? You know, where's
where's Paul Ryan? Where's Reince Priebus?
Yeah, where's Reince Priebus? But more importantly, you know, where's Scott Walker on this? Is somebody that went through a recall election, you know, won the will of the voters a whole, you know, 3rd, 4th time or whatnot.
Yeah.
He should be somebody that's super sensitive to an issue like this. Of hey, you know, once the voters are spoken, the voters are spoken.
Yeah.
You know, the party should not be trying to strip them. I think, you know, if Scott Walker has any decorum left in him, you know, he should. You know,
That's a big if.
He needs to issue a very quick veto threat. It is a huge if.
If voters in Wisconsin, if they have the recall effort for Scott Walker, I dare say, if any Republican in Wisconsin moves forward and votes on any of these, there should be an immediate recall election for every single one of those Republicans.
I agree 100% with you.
And then in Michigan, whatever the rules there, if they have recall there, do the exact same thing, because this is grossly undemocratic. It is utterly shameful. And again, you're not going to hear jack from national Republicans. You're not going to hear anything. You're not going to hear, and I keep saying this, I would love to see black Republicans as a group stand up and call out Republicans of what they're doing. And you know what? You're not going to see it. So, Brandon, guys like you, Candace Owens,
What about Malik?
whatever you are, Malik. I can go down the line. I would love to see. I mean, Eugene, I would love to see your buddies
Listen,
stand up as a group, not come on this show as an individual. No, but to literally go have a news conference at the Republican National Committee.
I'll be the one to tell you, you know, they'll dance around. I'll be the one to tell you, they're not going to do it. They're scared. They're not, you know, they're scared that they'll lose access to the White House. They're scared the RNC won't invite them nice things. I mean, they're terrified of it. You know, they feel as though they have to play the game and stay quiet, you know, to get what they want. I'll play straight with you, Roland. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to lie.
Guts.
I'm not going to lie to the viewers.
No guts. That's what I call it. No guts. So, love to see you do it. Holla at a brother when you do it. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.